for Panthers fans only is a sports podcast intended for mature audiences and contains profanity as well as extremely spirited conversation. What you see and hear are the sole opinions and depictions of each individual, not at all inclusive of the entire cast or any guests associated with our show. Thanks for tuning in, and always remember to stand on business.
Siento aquí tu presencia.
All that damn crying, bro.
Shut up. Shut up.
La noche de anoche. Y nos ponemos a llorar.
Yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. That energy'll make you niggas move to Europe. But it's regular for me, yeah, that's for sure. The love and hate is definite without a cure.
Welcome to Four Panthers
All
fans
this
only.
talk is
What are you-
bitch
why you
made, that's on
laughing?
my
Why you
lord.
smiling at me
I
already?
killed them all before I let
I
them
don't know what's
kill
so
my
funny. I don't know
joy.
what's so funny.
I done been through it all, what you
got here.
endure. It used to be fuck that nigga, but now it's plural. Fuck everybody that's on my body. My blick first, then God got me. I watch them pander with them backhanded compliments. Put they head on the Cuban
He's so
link as a
different, bro.
monument.
Everything, huh?
I
He's
pay
so
homage
different.
and I'll always mind my business. I made the I never lost who I am for a
Welcome,
rap
welcome,
image.
welcome, welcome to Four
There's
Panthers fans
motivation
only.
if you wonder
I
how
don't got
did
long
it.
today,
Yeah,
so
nigga. Going
I just
up
came
your
in here
rank.
literally to fucking argue with
God,
Terrence. Like, that's
even when they
literally
say
the
you
only
ain't.
purpose that
So
I'm here.
weird, bro.
That's
Keep
the
your
only
feelings out
reason
the
why
way.
I'm here, transparently.
Never let no
Nigga
one
has
smart
nothing to
on
argue
your
about,
name.
but once you
Yeah,
pick a
nigga,
argument,
keep your
like,
head down and work
it's
like
sad,
I
bro.
do. But understand, everybody ain't go like you. Yeah, nigga, if they say it's love, you been lied to. A couple rules of engagements, I'ma guide you.
Que reflejan tu mirada.
Shit's so raw.
La noche tu
Yet another loss for the Carolina Panthers.
Riding in my
It's just like the
GMX with a
inability
Nita
to-
Baker in the
actually,
tape
wait,
deck.
wait,
It's
wait,
gonna be a sweet love. Fuck apologies, I wanna see y'all
I know
geeked
this gives
up.
Terrence a
Don't
tad
acknowledge
bit
me,
PTSD.
then maybe we can say
Just
it's
by the
fair.
sound of his
Take
voice,
it to
but
the
just bear with
internet
us, it's
and
okay.
I'ma take it there. Miss
What?
my uncle Lemaine, he
I don't
said that he
understand why
would
this
kill
album
me
was
if I
getting hate
didn't
like
make
that.
it. Now I'm
That shit is
possessed
ass.
by a spirit and they can't take
Got
it.
like
Used to
3
bump
good
the
songs.
Carter 3, I held my
It's just
roller
a
chain
tape,
proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Whatever though, call me crazy, everybody questionable. Turn me to an Eskimo, I drew the line in
I heard this shit for the
decimals.
first time.
Posted Taylor made, I prayed it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it, it was only right for me to let it go. Won a Super Bowl and I'm the only one congratulate me. All these niggas agitated, I'm just glad they shown their faces, quite frankly. Plenty artists, but they outdated. Old ass flows trying to convince me that you they favorite. This is not for lyricists, I swear it's not the sentiments. Fuck a
Like I
double
was saying,
entendre.
just the inability to get the job done. Like for me personally, it's just extremely annoying. I look back at the last 2 weeks, and you look at the Atlanta Falcons have lost 2-3 games in a row. Currently sitting at 6-6. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a win yesterday, sitting at 6-6 in the division. Carolina Panthers sitting at 3-8, 3-9. I mean, the last 2 weeks you get the job done defensively, and you're looking at what I said at the very beginning of the season, a showcase week 18 for a divisional title. But lack of ability to close the job done. I mean, we got people that just piss down their leg when the moment is big. But I'll let my co-host say what he needs to say. This is for Panthers fans only. Welcome. I'm your host, JJ.
I'm your co-host, Terrence.
I'm your producer, Tavian.
Yeah, I really phenomenal game. I'll say that. I know a lot of y'all are aroused by the fact that we're playing competitive football. I won't lie and say that my Sundays aren't a tad bit more enjoyable, entertaining, etc. But for me, I'm not big into moral victories, to be quite transparent. Every single week I go on Twitter and I have to see, for lack of better terms, a circle jerk, because one player is doing this, one player is doing that, whatever the case may be.
Who?
And listen, that's phenomenal. It's great. It's outstanding. I'm happy that we have some solidification, at least within the fan base, and confidence in the quarterback position. But I mean, it's just yet another loss. That's the way I see it. That's the way I feel.
You can't say his name. You can't say his name.
No, because I don't want anybody to. I don't want nobody. I don't want anybody to get hypersensitive. I don't want anybody to say that I'm hating on a specific person. I don't want any of that because that's not what I'm here to do today.
Oh, why would they do that if you're giving them credit?
Huh?
Why would they do that if you're giving them credit?
I don't know.
Or you just can't give them credit?
What do you mean?
I just wanted you to say his name.
He played phenomenal yesterday. Bryce played phenomenal Sunday.
Cool.
He played phenomenal. Outstanding. But like I said, I mean, and this is because then you make me sound like a hater, but it's still a loss. So I know that everybody's excited and shit like that, but it's still a loss. And I'm not saying that it's his fault, but it's just like, I mean, why is everybody so ecstatic? That's the only question that I have. But then y'all make me come on here and sound like I'm a hater, like it's my fault. So, you know. I hope y'all had a phenomenal Thanksgiving. How are y'all doing? Let's start there. I know you took a trip down to Athens Saturday. How was that? Or Friday night, actually.
Yeah, or Thursday night, really. But
Thursday
it was it was fun. I got to go to the Georgia Tech game. As you know, that shit went in the fucking 8 overtime. So that was fun. It's always nice to like see how other colleges do it, or just like sports in general. So that's something that I've been enjoying a lot this year. I would say just going to like different sporting events in other cities, other states. So that was super fun. Their stadium is crazy. Like their fan base is insane. Just like everything about SEC football, I feel like it is what it's hyped up to be as far as like the atmosphere. But you can also tell that Georgia fans, and I'm assuming Alabama fans are probably like this, have a sense of entitlement because like they've been winning for so long. Because I was just seeing a lot of bullshit at the stadium. Like their fans were randomly. I was sitting in the student section. One of my friends goes to UGA Law, got us tickets. I was sitting in the student section, and they were just getting random Georgia Tech fans kicked out for no reason. Just because, yes, bro. Like, but I did see a few Georgia Tech fans get their ass beat too, while we were in the stands. But they were yapping because obviously Georgia Tech was up, and so they were in there singing their fight song, like all types of shit. And I was just like, unfortunately at ECU that shit wouldn't happen because we would have been mobbed on them niggas. But yeah, so I seen a few Georgia Tech fans get beat up, and that was that. And then I just seen a couple get kicked out just because they were Georgia Tech fans. Like this girl was literally telling the security to come get them out. They literally didn't do shit. She was sitting in front of us, and the people that she got kicked out was sitting 2 rows behind us. So I'm like, there's no way they said anything to you. So I don't even know why the fuck you're in this. But so that happened. But other than that, it was a long game. It was cold, but it was fun to like witness that. So that was excited. And Athens is just like a cool place in general. You wouldn't think that it's like really that fun, but it's pretty smooth. Like their bars and stuff are pretty smooth. So I enjoyed it.
They got like a whole strip, right? They got a whole strip of bars like downtown. Yeah. There's like 15 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's like damn near almost every other place is like a bar.
Yeah. And
so it's insane. Food was good as well. So campus is nice. It's a little older, but it's nice. But yeah, it was fun.
That's what's up. How was your Thanksgiving, brother?
That's dope. It was good, man. I had a good time. Went up to was working the farm this weekend again. Roped me a cow. About lost a hand too.
He's so excited. Like he's so happy.
Bro, because I earned my star this weekend. You know, I'm a real cowboy. I feel like when you lasso a cow, that's it. You know, you it's solidified. So, yeah, that bitch about took my fingers off, though. I'm not going to lie, because it was you seen the Lethal Shooter videos. I think I understand it now. I missed my first throw because I ain't never thrown a fucking lasso before. I grew up in the city. I missed my first one. I said, okay, I got it. Watch that bitch running along the line of the fence. I said, yeah, I'm about to get him. Put that bitch around his neck. But see, I didn't get that far in my head, right? I didn't think I was actually going to hit it. So when I had that bitch around his neck and it started pulling, I didn't know how to act. Bitches are strong, boy. And I had some
going down.
No, I had some gloves on, and that bitch just gave me rope burn through the gloves because it was pulling so fast and hard. I was like, yeah, I can't. It's like somebody, because you got to tie you need something bigger. Like a human ain't gonna really be able to contain that. You got to tie it around a horse. So that's why traditionally they do it on horseback, because a horse is strong enough to pull it. I was just like, where the fuck is the horse? Like somebody with the horse need to come by and grab this fucking rope from me. Cause but it was dope, man. It's always a good time.
That's what's up, bro. What did I do, bro? Thursday, had family come through the spot. That was cool. Probably, I don't know, maybe 20 deep, 25 deep. Who knows? I don't know. Shout out to everybody that came through, I guess. Even though there's a couple that a little shaky, but
What does that mean?
I'll spare you the details. But yeah, it was cool. Did that Friday. I don't even know what I did Friday. Oh, went to see Wicked.
Like everybody's been going to see
Give it
that.
out of 8 out of 10.
Is it worth it? Or should we just wait till it's on Disney Plus or whatever?
If you go with a significant other or somebody that you're courting, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go see it by yourself. But, I got a lot of flack for that because Gladiator 2 is out as well. And I told Yak that I was going to see Wicked, and, that conversation didn't go the best. But, yeah, it was a family outing. We went, my 2 grandmothers, my mom, my sister, and my pops, we went to see Wicked, which was kind of cool because last year we actually went to see it on Broadway as well. So, about a year later, get to see the actual film. So that was dope. Went home, ate some leftovers, was watching the Chiefs and Raiders game, and didn't make it. I want to say I may have seen half of a quarter, and that was a wrap. And then Saturday and Sunday, football all day. So that's it. It's cool, and now we're here. Started a new job today, so that's phenomenal.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. Tell them I need my money quickly.
Bro, you just started. Calm down, bro.
I need my chocho quick. And yeah, so had to watch yet another Carolina Panthers loss, but we're in the moral victory. So
No. No, it's that.
yeah, it is. That's what it sounded like when I was in the group chat yesterday, and just in general. So
What? How did you get that out of? Yeah. How
really
did it
was
go
just-
down that route?
It just felt like it. It just felt like it.
Who was really
The
celebrating? though?
tonality.
Who was really celebrating?
It wasn't really a celebration. It was just the tonality, I think. Or maybe it was just because I was just sick.
I
for 45 minutes.
really don't recall, honestly. Well, I recall one specific segment about Adam Thielen that I didn't engage in, but I don't know anything
That
else.
pissed me off. Yeah, that had me tight. Don't try and tell me Adam Thielen is legendary. He has 5 career total wins as a Carolina Panther.
I didn't say that, by the way.
And
I was about to say
one of
I feel
them
like you're
wasn't a part of it.
attributing that one comment to everybody. That was one
well,
person
it
that
just
said
because
he's a legend.
because next time I just need niggas to just put their 2 cents in, instead of just letting dumb shit fly. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What did I say that was in the conversation that was dumb?
Well,
Or that was in the group chat that was dumb?
You just had a few grammatical errors. That I was,
Oh yeah, just because I was faded. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if that conversation would have went that way if I wasn't faded, but I was a tad bit faded when
and
I
really the only thing else left in there was the Adam Thielen legend thing. But everybody else was tweaked out too over the game, so I don't understand where the whatever word you
I don't know.
said.
Maybe you just been smiling too much for me.
Nigga mad because I'm happy. Like
I don't know. So how did you feel about the game? I don't have a whole long soliloquy. I told you today. I'm like, I gotta get back to the city. So I will say this very, very briefly. Just a couple of things that I'm sure we'll go into detail in more detail rather, as the conversation or as the podcast progresses. Couple of things that I'll touch very, very briefly. We can't fumble the football with the game on the line. And I know that that's the main thing that you want to get to. Just because, you just want to hate. So cool. I'm going to let you get your hate off. Can't fumble the ball with the game on the line. There's just simply no way that we can allow one running back, Bucky Irvin, to account for 70 total yards over the course of multiple plays. Honestly, that's the drive that I look at specifically that lost us the football game. I'll be 100% honest with you. That drive that Bucky Irvin had in the fourth quarter, defensively, it was just a pathetic job, pathetic effort. Can't tackle a nigga who literally, can barely walk. And for the life of me, I don't really understand it. We spoke about Ejiro Evero last week, And I know I see a lot of people caping for him on Twitter. And I got all my caping out of the way over the first 2.5 months of the season. At this point, it's just a wrap. Bryce Young looked great. I don't understand why I have to say that, and then I just get like I look up and I just see cheesing and laughing. Like I can't say one fucking statement, bro. I mean, but let me just not even go off the rails. What else?
Eddie.
Just a mark. You should have just let me keep going without even saying his name. Because you have to defend that shit. That's your boy. No, yes you do, nigga. That's your boy, right?
I don't.
Same way how I said what I said about Chuba when I first walked in here. You defend it. That's your boy. You wanted to suck him off. Cool. You suck him off through the preseason, through the training camp, through the first couple of weeks in the season. Nigga won 1 game, 2 games, whatever. It's Eddie.
We only won.
Eddie.
Shit, we only got 3 wins. You're telling me he won 1 or 2 games. Like, I mean, damn, that counts for over more than half of our wins. Like, and it's not really defending him. What I defended him on was I said
you gas him
listen,
up.
Listen.
You wanted us to give that nigga $10 million a year.
No, I didn't know what his contract was. I thought the shit was $2 million. I never agreed to fucking $10 million. I literally thought he was holding out because of $2 million, and I was like, I mean, my God, we can't pay him $2 million. So I don't know where that $10 million number came from, but anyway, my whole defense of Eddie was he was better than Memphis. Like, he proved that. We watched the damn training camp videos. He was better than Memphis, so I'm like, obviously, I want Eddie. And then you were upset because Eddie wasn't coaching him or trying to help him out. But I'm like, listen, bro. Listen, you said you want
doing that on your. You have to stop doing that on your platform.
You said you want me.
Stop lying on your platform.
You said you want me to defend him. There was a couple times you were talking about Eddie wasn't walking up to him. He wasn't talking to him, ignoring him. But I'm like, he's trying to take your job. Why would Eddie give a fuck?
And you think, knowing me, you think that I was mad about that.
Yes.
And you think that I said. You're telling me that I said that Eddie Pinero should have been coaching him up.
Yes, bro. Because every chance that you took to try to get Memphis in the Carolina Panthers jersey is just fucking asinine to me. But anyway,
let me ask you a question: would you rather have that nigga or Eddie right now?
Eddie, bro,
I can't even say because just based on YouTube guidelines. I can't even say what I want to happen to Eddie right now. Because I'm just not even going to go down that path. But cool. So
and I'm not going to. And I'm not
want to gas him up, suck him off because he's allegedly the most accurate kicker in the NFL.
Bro, didn't you say you wanted me to.
He's a fucking mark. He's a mark, bro.
You wanted me to defend him? Can I talk?
Yes, continue.
All right, sit back and be quiet, bro. So anyway. Like I said, this started all the way in training camp when you wanted Memphis, fat-ass Memphis, to take his job for whatever reason. And that could be the case. I don't know. But just because we ain't never seen a kicker that big. So, I mean, I don't know. But either way, Eddie turned out to be better than him. Eddie has won us football games. Eddie has also lost us football games. Only thing I said, based off statistics, based on recent kickers that we have, Eddie has been one of the more reliable kickers that we've had in the past. And that doesn't shoot him any blame for fucking up the game. He did that. He left like 9 points on the board. So anything that they decide to do to Eddie from this point forward after that game, I don't give a fuck. I could care less. He lost us the game. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, like, Eddie still isn't better than fucking Memphis. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. I don't even know
why you're bringing up Harrison Memphis in general.
See, I didn't even know his name. That's how I already know. That's how I already know you was in love with him. I didn't even know his name.
Wow. It's just crazy that whatever. Okay, cool. Whatever you say. He's a mark. Eddie Pinero is a mark. He's been a mark to me since the Atlanta game about 3 years ago when he changed the trajectory of this franchise for the next 5 or 10 years. He's been a mark. He's always been a mark. And it's just funny to me that my co-host went mini viral off of fucking saying that the nigga was a mark, but yet now he sucks his dick. And for me, it's just mind-boggling transparency the way that the goalpost moves. But I digress. Cool. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go on our TikTok and just look at the first pin video and look at how he slanders and talks about that nigga Eddie Pinero in that video, and tell me if this is the same man from 2.5 years ago.
All I'm saying is, pay him his money. They paid him that. according to statistics, the most
Well,
accurate
they didn't
kicker.
pay him. He's still not paid.
Oh well.
And to be quite frank, he won't get paid if it's up to me. And if Dan Morgan and the front office has watched anything specifically on Monday or Sunday, they shouldn't pay him. He's a bitch. Cool. Or I shouldn't say that. My fault. I take that back. He's not a bitch. I'm sorry. He's just ass at his job. And he's overrated.
Are you going to
When it gets cold, the niggas dog shit.
Are you going to give criticism to other players that fucked off?
Like who?
Oh, do I need to say?
Like who?
Or you just don't know?
Like
so
who?
you don't know?
Like who? Who are you referencing? Are you talking about Chuba?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you like me to say? The D tackle made a phenomenal play.
Okay.
He made a phenomenal play. The commentator literally said he tackled the football. It's a phenomenal play.
Okay.
What can you do about that?
Hold on to the ball.
I was about to say, there's a lot you can do about it.
To put it into more context, Chuba did the same thing against the Giants.
Nigga, and I heard you say that.
bro.
No, that shit is just false. It's just a dumbass narrative.
Did he not?
Well, he almost tore his shit.
I don't give a fuck what he almost tore, bro. Hang on to the ball, bro.
So that's when we just
that is
lose
outrageous.
logic.
Because he really, yeah.
We just lose logic. We just lose logic.
But that doesn't absolve him from what he did on Sunday.
Like, he did the same thing in the Giants game, almost cost us the game there, and then he comes back and does the same thing again, and he walks into the crib, and what I have to hear is, oh, I would have fumbled it too because he barely touched the ball. Just soft all the way around.
I don't know what it feels like to get tackled.
Yeah,
after only touching the ball 11 times in 4 quarters.
And like Tavian said,
plus overtime.
Bro, you play half a season, you don't know what it feel like to get tackled. Like, be for real.
I forgot.
Be for real.
And it's cold.
Well, they reminded you?
You didn't forget to sign that paper when they offered you that contract. You ain't forget how to write your name in cursive. Now all of a sudden you forget how it feels to get tackled.
I think there's a conversation to be had about his health. Honestly, because if you look at him, he's just not.
Whose health?
Chuba. He's not hitting the hole the same way he was at the start of the season.
Man, stop, bro.
I think so. You just turn the film on, bro. Turn the film on. He wasn't banging his head on the fucking line of scrimmage like he's been doing all season.
Please stop, bro.
What are we doing? So Jonathan Brooks comes back and all of a sudden you want to start dancing and getting cute. Bitch, put your fucking foot in the dirt and put your head down and run over somebody.
I don't know. To be quite frank, I don't know what film you've been watching.
Okay.
I don't know what film you've been watching.
The film that was on.
Quite frank.
Either way, he need to hang on. He need to hang on to the ball. It's just simple as that. The ball game is won. Hopefully, Eddie has to go back up and kick. Yeah. But I mean,
so that's why I don't know why niggas are up in arms. You just make the field goals from the beginning in the first fucking quarter. Then you don't got to worry about it.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Everybody
now we're in position.
It's a fucking slander and slaughter Chuba Hubbard party now on the timeline and with you. It's so cool. It's so cool. So I guess we just forgot what Eddie did.
It's not.
So fuck it.
It's not
so cool. It's all on you. It's all on you, Chuba. You can't run hard no more. Allegedly, your health is bad. And the game yesterday is all on you because you dicked it off at the end.
Nobody said that. None of those words ever came out of my mouth.
That's what I heard.
You need to get your hearing checked. But what I'm saying is like at the same time, you still give your kicker a chance to fucking kick the ball. No matter how many field goals he missed throughout the game. They do the same thing with Justin Tucker. So either way, Chuba, you have to hold on to the ball. It's just as simple as that. You're a running back. You just got paid a bag. Like, you have to hold on to the ball. Like, your team has went through 4 quarters of literal fucking hell, get to overtime. They fuck off the kick. You have the perfect opportunity to win the game. Bryce is playing fucking great. This is the chance for him to start his fucking legacy game at this bitch. And then you go and dick it off by fumbling. So, cool. I mean, and then I have to hear somebody say, oh, he ain't touched the ball. Wow. It's just soft. But, everybody gets to escape blame here, I guess. So, congrats, Chuba. You did nothing wrong. You only, that picture that you wanted to get yesterday sitting on the sideline after everybody left, you got your picture. So now you can go fucking hang it up in your fucking locker.
So he did that for a photo op?
I don't know what he did it for, but get the fuck in the locker room and address the media. Or why you dropped the fucking ball.
He did.
Okay, cool.
He did. He said, I got to be better. He held himself accountable.
You got to be better.
That's all he said. I got to be better. I should have held onto the ball with 2 hands.
So if he can hold himself accountable, why can't you?
Because I just don't understand why I just don't understand why niggas want to crucify him. Like, we didn't have 3, yet again, we didn't have 3 opportunities to convert in the red zone, which we don't want to talk about because, again, Bryce has been playing phenomenal.
We said that to start with after the game.
Okay, cool. It's okay.
We said that directly after the game. So what are you referring to?
Also, he would have converted had the refs not dicked him off, but are we not going to have that conversation either?
No, the refs are ass.
Or, I mean, we can have that conversation, or we can just say, just catch the fucking ball when it touches you the first time. Whichever conversation y'all prefer. Whichever one y'all prefer.
It was clearly a catch. It was clearly a catch.
Whichever one y'all prefer.
Inbound.
Catch the ball the first time.
Why
Don't fucking bobble. Don't bobble.
He caught it
Caught the
inbound.
ball.
You want me to
But
tell you
are we
why?
about to
Because
shit
then
on
we-
Adam Thielen,
swear
but
to
then just gave Chuba, just let Chuba escape a clear fumble? But we're about to shit on Adam Thielen that the whole world ruled it a fucking catch, but the refs on the field, but we're about to fucking shit on Adam
So the most
Thielen.
important 6 didn't rule it a catch.
Bro, the fucking NFL exec said that for some reason there was short of a fucking camera crew at the game. Happened to be the fucking angle above the goalpost, but all of a sudden we just shoot them bail. But cool.
I
Okay.
didn't say anything. I don't
Fine,
know why you're so
fine.
up in arms.
Because,
I just
bro,
said
it doesn't
I
make
just said
sense.
the easy way to fix that is to catch the ball the first time. That's all I said. That's all I said.
just
That's
can't- I
all I
can't
said.
believe-
That's all I said.
I can't
Catch
believe
the
that's
ball
the
first
stance that
time.
you
Yeah,
decided to take.
it's nasty, bro.
Catch
It's
the ball the
nasty.
first time.
Don't
is
fumble
that?
the
What is
football.
that?
That shit takes that away. Catch the ball the first time. You don't got to worry about it. You make your field goals
you
at the
hate
beginning
Bryce
of the
that
game.
much?
What are you talking about? Do I hate Bryce that much?
you
talking about?
just try to
I
find
just
any
said-
angle for the shit
I
that
just
have
said,
not
what,
been
What
successful.
the fuck does me saying catch
'Cause
the
that's
ball
how
the
this all
first time-
started.
What does that have to do with me saying catch the ball the first time? The nigga threw a phenomenal pass. He threw a phenomenal pass. Why can't we catch it the first time? That's all I said. Catch the fucking ball the first time. What does that got to do with Bryce?
I just feel like in your
See,
mind,
no,
like you're
it's
just
not-
you're
no, it's
happy
not.
that it played out that way. so
But-
the nigga
and
doesn't
see-
get
and
any
see,
glory.
Then niggas just fucking say dumb shit. Then niggas say dumb shit, and then we just sound like we're just rambling and not having a real conversation.
Well, you started
So cool.
it. You started it off by
Cool.
doing that.
Cool.
By saying dumb shit.
How? Because I said catch the ball the first time?
And
obviously, if they couldn't fucking tell the nigga control the ball through the ground and the bitch didn't control it through the ground, the initial call was a fucking incomplete pass on the field.
they're dumb as fuck. I
Okay,
guarantee.
and
I
is
guarantee
it,
you.
the story of the NFL to fuck the Carolina Panthers off? Absolutely.
I guarantee you they
Absolutely.
get fined or lose some type of games because of that.
They-
Because
they
the call
won't.
was fucking horrendous.
They don't. They
It was
won't.
horrendous.
If they don't do it for any of them chief crews when they be playing, the way they be dicking off games, and they don't lose no games, if they lose games, I promise you they won't lose no games behind dicking the Carolina Panthers.
The call was horrendous, and all of a sudden there wasn't enough camera crews to catch the correct angle of the replay. Like, all of that is just complete bullshit. A ref gets fucking trampled the first damn drive or second drive of the game, has to get fucking carted off, and I don't understand why. But then now all of a sudden we're down a ref. So now we're missing a bunch of holdings. Now we're missing a bunch of penalties up front because all of a sudden he had to be the fucking ref that's lined up with the line of scrimmage. So that dicks us off. And then it comes back, and now we have a controversial call at the end of the game that maybe this ref in particular could have made up for, but he's in the fucking locker room. So, I mean, it's just everything that just goes against us. So, I mean, cool. It was a catch.
Okay. I don't agree or disagree. What I'm telling you is,
Did Jericho Cotchery catch it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely,
Okay.
he caught it. Absolutely, he caught it. But at the end of the day, we're having this long, drawn-out conversation. At the end of the day, the theme for the Carolina Panthers is missed opportunities. That's it. And we just have the inability to win football games and close football games out. You look at the fumble. You look at that catch. Like I said, you catch it the first time. Y'all can be upset and y'all can rage out. This nigga, I don't know what kind of narrative he just tried to paint. I haven't said Bryce Young name in like the last 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how that came about.
That was
But
that's
cool.
where the conversation started because you was talking about
Did it?
converting in the red zone.
And I said that the team didn't convert in the red zone. And I said niggas don't want to have that conversation. And then somebody said something about they should have converted with the catch. That wasn't the catch. And I said, well, they didn't convert, and that's fixed if you just catch the ball the first time. This is another thing that I want to say. For the life of me, I don't know why. As a matter of fact, let me just not even draw it out. There should never be another week where I look on Twitter and I go to the beat reporters' tweets and say and see that Chuba Hubbard is the only nigga on the jug machine after practice. Xavier Leggett, I've been very, very patient. I'm not gonna call anybody out of their name. I'm not gonna do any of that.
Only Eddie.
He's a mark. Yeah, only Eddie, because Eddie lost us the game Sunday. No matter how anybody wants to look at it. Cool. I know the fun thing to do is to put all the blame on Chuba Hubbard. Cool. So we'll blame Chuba Hubbard for the sake of the podcast. It's Chuba's fault.
Nobody just
my
solely.
fault. My
Nobody
bad. It's
solely.
Chuba's fault.
You see
It's
how he
Chuba's
tries
fault.
to paint this narrative?
It's Chuba's fault.
Nobody solely blamed Chuba. We're just going through the different things that happened in the game that potentially cost us the game. It was Eddie. It was that fucking catch. That was a catch that they didn't call a catch. It was Chuba Hubbard fumbling. It was EJ, who can't call a damn defense to save his life when it comes down to the back stretch of the game. It was missed tackles. It was a bunch of things that happened. XL can't catch. Sometimes David Moore can't catch. I mean, like, it was a bunch of things that happened. Nobody said Chuba solely sold us the game, but he did play a part in doing so.
Okay. What is his problem?
Bro, that shit is just hilarious.
What?
The narratives that you try to paint.
It's not narrative.
While
It's just facts.
while the story is just so clear.
If you just
cut on the tape, the story paints itself, bro. You don't gotta create some shit, bro. We can see it. We can see it.
So Adam Thielen shouldn't have caught the ball in the end zone.
Adam Thielen did catch the
Yeah,
ball.
like, what are we talking about, bro?
Yeah, that's not up for debate.
On the first catch, on the first little bobble, he shouldn't have done that, right?
Bro, he had the ball secure with two hands and a knee down. That's a fucking catch in the NFL.
All right.
What are we talking about?
26 of 46, 298 yards and 1 touchdown. Phenomenal game. You want to give him a round of applause? Do you want to? Where's that shit? But I know you're a fan. I know y'all are a fan right behind that. So, Chuba Hubbard, 12 touches for 43 yards, and then I'm supposed to
Hit that first one again.
And a fumble.
In a fumble loss. Correct. Jonathan Brooks, 6 carries for 18 yards. So Jonathan Brooks should be the starter?
Oh, my God.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. The nigga just said that he wasn't healthy, right? He just said he wasn't healthy. Should Jonathan Brooks be the starter?
I said I think he's not healthy.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
if he don't want to sit down because he's, because allegedly he's healthy, then cool, keep playing. But if I keep seeing your production dip, we can reevaluate and have that conversation in a couple weeks.
Or we can just point to the fact that, I mean, the nigga has been getting 16 to 19 touches a game. So, I mean, but 12 carries, I guess that's not enough to pause about, I guess.
Well, we kind of
can talk about the fact that he played against the number 1 rush defense last week.
Either way, we kind of already knew and had this conversation that carries will potentially go down if we're trying to work Jonathan Brooks into the lineup. That was kind of already a theme. Automatically, Chuba is going to be hard for him to get 20 touches a game when you reached and drafted a guy in the second round coming off a torn ACL. And, this is his second game of his career, right? And so you're trying to work him in to see what he can do. And we even all agreed that this can potentially look like how it looked under Steve Wilkes when they had Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, or what they have going on in Detroit with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So if that's something that we want to kind of model, or that us as fans want to see and feel like that's something that can help us win football games, then this is the perfect time to get him worked in. So Chuba's not going to – unfortunately, he's just not going to touch the ball 20 times a game, especially when Jonathan Brooks has had a couple of good runs and a couple of, catches out of the backfield.
He didn't look half bad either.
Yeah, so, I mean, it happens. He got to get used to it. But what has made Chuba good in the past, and why we commend Chuba so much and why we give him so much praise, is because he was able to produce with the little production that he had. He had to sit behind Christian McCaffrey. He had to split reps with Deontay Foreman. That's what made Chuba the player that he is today. So don't revert back to, or don't even pick up a habit of, you're not getting touches, so I'm not going to produce with it. That's just a bullshit excuse.
I don't think that is the conversation that's being had at all, for one. I mean, a nigga averaged 3.6 yards a carry. If we do the math on that, you give the nigga the ball 3 times in a row, it's a first down.
Well, you're asking why he only has 12 touches, and I'm telling you.
Yeah, that shit is just ass. It's just not conducive with winning football. It's just very, very simple.
Well, I mean, you can't have it both ways. You said the same shit about Jonathan Brooks. You said the same.
Honest, I don't even. I also said that if the nigga wasn't going to play in week 11 or 12, whatever week it was, that I just simply don't want to see the nigga for the rest of the year with the way Chuba Hubbard has been carrying the ball. So, I mean, I say a lot of shit on this podcast.
And a lot of it seems like to be bullshit when it comes down to it. So, like I said, you said the same thing, so now all of a sudden you want to retract that.
No, all of a sudden I want the nigga to get the same amount of touches that he was getting and work Jonathan Brooks in however you work him. I don't give a damn. Cool. If you want to give him 3-4 touches, I don't care, bro. I don't want to see. I don't ever want to see another drive where Jonathan Brooks touches the football 5 or 6 times in a row. I just simply don't. Not when you have a nigga that's running the most efficiently in the NFL. Well, now it's probably, Saquon Barkley, I would assume. I haven't looked at it in the past couple of weeks. But I would assume it's Saquon. But, yeah, no, I don't want to see Chuba Hubbard get his touches snatched. I don't. It's unfortunate because, yeah, you burned the second round, but I don't. But maybe that's just me.
A second round that you were campaigning for and that you were happy about. So how else do you expect them to work Jonathan Brooks in?
Well, I was told that he was going to be ready July 1. So, that shit changed very, very quickly when I seen, he's going to be on IR. We've lost all of these games. At this point, the season is shot. I don't even want to see him for the rest of this whole year.
It's damn near like the whole world knew he wasn't going to be ready July 1 but you.
Okay.
And if we're going to keep it in the context of the game that happened Sunday, there was really only one drive where you could argue they should have handed the ball off.
No, I don't agree with that statement at all. I think they could have handed the ball off a significant amount more in the whole second half. Because, the clock management at times was bullshit, too. I was begging for Chuba Hubbard to touch the ball in the fourth quarter. And then all of a sudden, like I said, his first touch in 11, 12 minutes of gameplay, and he fucks it off. So then it's just like,
But y'all didn't have as many drives in the second half as I don't know how many drives you think y'all had in the second half, but it wasn't that many because the Bucs were dominating time of possession, and Bucky Irving was running every which way on y'all. And the clock was just tick, 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 tick. By the time y'all touched the ball again in the fourth, y'all were down. And Chuba certainly wasn't touching the ball then. Yeah, so it was just very
I don't know if I agree with that at all.
It's just a really weird narrative. There was a drive in the third quarter, however, where Panthers ran for like 7 on first down and then went pass, which that was a drive that should have.
That shit happened again in the fourth quarter as well.
Where Chuba should have touched it more.
Where the nigga got 3 yards and then they went pass. So it's just like, I've been saying this the whole season. I want to see that nigga touch the ball more. I don't know why it's that difficult to like really understand, or like, but it is what it is. I guess they didn't decide to do it, and from the looks of it, it seems like Jonathan Brooks is going to continue to get worked in more. And I wouldn't be surprised if the nigga gets 8 to 10 rushing attempts next week. Because he went from 2 last week to 6 this week. So, yeah, I can see him getting 8 to 10, especially with Chuba Hubbard fumbling. I don't know what the ideology or the approach is going to be on the coaching staff's behalf, just because we haven't seen a situation like this with this coaching staff. But I can easily see Chuba Hubbard potentially being in the doghouse for the fumble in overtime. I can. So, we'll see. And then I'll have a lot to say at that point, too. 8 for 99 in the touchdown for Adam Thielen. He did go crazy. I will give him credit. He went crazy. 5 for, and that catch in overtime, the play before the Chuba Hubbard fumble, that shit was insane. I'm not going to lie. One of the craziest catches I've ever seen in my life. 5 for 77 for Tommy Tremble. Good to see him get more involved. 4 for 55 for Xavier Legette. Should have been 5 for 65, but, cool. David Moore, 5 for 40. Another situation where it should have been 6 for about, what was that?
On the sideline, the fade route that Bryce fucked off?
No, not on that one. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that one. I'm talking about on the sideline, a deep out route that he ran.
I remember that one, too, that he dropped.
Bryce threw a damn dime where only David Moore could get it inbounds. All he had to do was reach a little bit, and we come up short. So he should have had a little bit more than he had as well. But I think that drive still ended up positive overall, and then Eddie dicked the kickoff. So, Josie Jewell went crazy yesterday. 2 TFLs, a sack, 8 tackles. Jordan Fuller, 8 tackles. He was second on the team, but to be quite frank, he just didn't look like – it didn't feel like he played well to me yesterday. And maybe that's just a me problem. Shaw Smith-Wade, was he the highest graded PFF?
Second highest behind Damian Lewis.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. When did he send that?
I can't remember. I think Damian Lewis was like a 90 point something, and Shaw Smith-Wade was like an 80-something.
89.7. Damian Lewis was a 90. Shaw Smith-Wade was an 89.7. Bryce was a 79.2. Thielen was a 72.5. And Ikem Ekwonu was a 71.6. Let's see. Ashawn Robinson got a TFL as well. He had 6 tackles. X was sliding per usual. 7 for him. JC.
With a pick.
Who had a pick?
X.
That is right. X did have a pick. That shit was ugly. I don't know what Baker saw on that.
That was like
Off
his
the
first
injury.
play back from injury.
Yeah, that was nasty. But we appreciate the donation. Thank you very much. And then Amari Barno returned. 3 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 sack. DJ Wanham kind of a little more quiet than we had seen the past 2 weeks off of him making his debut. 3 tackles. What, bro?
Bro, I didn't see some of the shit that was said. I was looking for the stats in the
Oh.
chat. I just saw
yesterday?
something dumb. I saw something dumb.
Oh, yeah. It got wicked in there last night for sure. Time of possession 39-27 advantage Buccaneers. Total yards 445 to 367. Advantage Buccaneers 289 to 209 passing yards. Bryce Young over Baker 236 to 78 in the rush yards. Advantage Tampa Bay. I mean, there's just simply no world where a defense should allow 236 yards on the ground. It just should not happen. It just should not happen ever.
That shit has happened a lot this year.
236 though?
Not 236, but I mean, we are one of the worst rush defenses in the league, if not the worst.
I was about
think
to
they
say
said.
I don't even think it's I don't even think it's one of. I think it is the worst, but 236 just looks OD. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. 27-19 first downs. Buccaneers 7-7 penalties. Tampa Bay had the 2 interceptions. We had the fumble loss in overtime. We did sack Baker Mayfield 4 times in comparison to Bryce only being sacked once. So that's another, I mean, that's just extremely positive, something to build off of. And then total plays 77-68. Advantage Tampa Bay. Let me see.
It's just, I hear those stats and just think like being more talented doesn't always equate to being more talented, you know?
As far as
Yesterday.
Yeah, that shit made no sense. I'm not
did
gonna
I?
lie.
Oh, I was so
Yeah,
faded.
That shit. Made,
Oh, that's why.
That's why I
That's why you sitting at that. What you call me?
yeah.
I didn't even read over it, bro. I
was
meant to
like,
say
what?
I was faded, bro. Like, no cap. I meant to say, being more legendary doesn't equate to being more talented. That's what I meant to say. But I mean, obviously, I blazed it. That's why I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Year, boy.
Oh,
being
yeah.
more talented does not always equate to being more talented.
And he had me hot, bro. I was faded and I was hot, bro. I told you, like, I literally was in my bed about to stroke out, bro. Because this nigga is, like, trying to tell me something about Adam Thielen out of all people, bro. But, cool. Overall, like I said, competitive game. It's just very, very frustrating, bro. It's very frustrating. And, again, I know that for y'all, it's a lot more palatable. And that's phenomenal. For me, it's just like wins and losses. And I will say, listen, when we went to Vegas, it was a blast because we're coming off of 2 absolutely horrendous offensive performances. And then we see, you know, the offense starting to move the ball a little bit more, and it resulted in a win. So that's why the energy kind of was what it was week 3 after that football game. But, you know, Bryce looks great. I'll say that. Bryce looks phenomenal. We had a conversation last week about if we felt his performance against the Kansas City Chiefs did anything mentally for the front office as far as solidifying him as being the guy going forward. I think that just to kind of go back to that question, he's played outstanding the last 2 weeks. I will say that. I want to see what he does against Philly this week. That's going to be huge for me. And it's not going to be a situation where I come in and shit on him if he doesn't perform to the standard that we would ideally want to see. But I think that that's going to tell me a lot because I think, you know, how clean he's been over the last couple of weeks. I think that'll change. I think some of the looks that he's been getting over the last couple of weeks, even though he has faced off against two phenomenal defensive minds against Kansas City and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in consecutive weeks, I think the shit hits a little bit different with Philly. Their secondary, in my opinion, is better than Tampa Bay and Kansas City. So I think that what I see on Sunday is going to tell me a lot personally. But again, I'm not going to overreact, but I just wanted to kind of draw that back a little bit because we did have that conversation. And I would like to ask you now, turn it back to you. Do you think that Bryce Young is definitely the guy going forward after what you saw Sunday against Kansas City, what you've seen over the last 4 or 5 weeks? Is he the answer? Should the conversation even be had?
I think that at least going forward into next year, because, I mean, we talked numerous of times, and I don't think there's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft that are pro-ready, so to speak. And so I think that if you go that route, then you're taking a chance on being set back 2 more years with another quarterback that you have to kind of progress and get up to speed the same way it's been with Bryce. We went through the free agency list, and it's like, well, realistically, who would we be okay with getting besides a Justin Fields? But, you know, in that same breath, we still don't know what that's going to look like when he comes to Carolina. So I think that if you're going off, like, within next year, like going into next year and building next year out around him, yes. And I think the way he's played thus far since he's been benched, I think he is going forward until he shows me different. Like the same, like how we were calling for him to be benched. I think that at this time I still have to give him some grace and things like that because he's played phenomenal over the past couple of weeks, even though they've resulted in losses. But, I mean, you can clearly see that he's getting better. You can clearly see that he's going toe-to-toe with some of the best quarterbacks in the league. He went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. We've seen the way Baker has been playing over this past 2 years. He went toe-to-toe with Baker. So, I mean, he's putting himself, like, he's making it a very difficult conversation, if not them having a conversation at all. I think so.
Okay. I'm not mad at that at all. What I will say is I know for a fact the first 2 weeks I felt like we were losing because of Bryce Young. The last 2 weeks, the previous 2 weeks up to this point, we're not losing football games because of Bryce Young. So if you feel that way, then I would just challenge your ball knowledge overall in general. And
then one more thing I would say, I think that I feel like now the whole league, damn near the whole world, is, so to speak, behind Bryce at this point, that I think it would be hard for the front office to go in another direction. Because if you just look at social media, you've seen, like, social media, the NFL networks and, like, all of the major news articles has been picking up this Bryce Young story, like picking up, even though we're losing the last 2 games we lost, like, those are the things that's on the front of NFL. Bryce Young did this, Bryce Young did that. So I think that even based off of that, the publicity and things like that, the light that he shed on the team and on himself over the past couple of weeks, that's still going to make it hard for the front office to move in a different direction.
Yeah, I would agree.
Here's where I get JJ to lose it over my comment on what I'm about to say about Bryce Young.
Why though?
Because
I almost lost it at the beginning, so now you want to piss me off. But go ahead.
Because what I'm about to say you're not going to agree with, and that's fine, but it's the truth. What I think Bryce Young has displayed in bouncing back, because, again, last week I went on with the narrative that, you know, he's his story is still being written. His narrative hasn't been created yet. And what you see with Bryce Young now, I think, is he's got a spirit about him that makes you believe, like, this guy can lead a team to a championship. Because I think he's got a champion spirit. And the way that he's bounced back from being benched, it's been a phenomenal response. He's only gotten better. He's finally playing free. You see the guys are getting behind him. You see the energy in the city, like not in the city, but in the stadium. When that game started,
just slow down a little bit.
oh no! When that
city,
game started,
that,
I said in the stadium.
Okay, cool.
I corrected it immediately. You didn't have to jump in. You can put your mic back down.
Apologies.
Thank you.
My bad. I just needed to clarify.
In the stadium,
you can see at the start of the
game
last year.
You can see the start of the game that Bryce Ridley had the whole stadium rocking. Everybody was behind him. The team is behind him. Everybody's playing a little bit better. They're responding well. When Bryce led the team on what should have been the game-winning drive, I mean, it was electric. I mean, you see him overcoming bad plays from his receivers now. You still see him airmailing some passes, which, we kind of got to get that down. But he has a championship spirit about him. And I think he has proven over the last 2 weeks and will continue to prove that he's the right quarterback for this team.
And a question that I have for you, going back to
never mind. Okay. Nothing. Go ahead.
He's won at every level up until this point in his life. He's been high school, college. Now it's just for the pros.
Okay.
And he's putting he's putting it together.
So Bryce Young is going to bring us a Super Bowl, correct?
I think so.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously that's a far-fetched hypothetical, and a lot has to fall into place.
I will say when he scored the rushing touchdown and he did his little shit.
you were sucking them off.
Anyways, what is your question? Please don't piss me off.
So we had this conversation weeks and weeks ago, and we put out a poll on all social media. Do you think that Bryce Young is now better than Andy Dalton?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't understand why we had to bring that up. Okay, cool.
I'm just asking, bro, because you proceeded to tell everybody that they were dumb as hell for thinking that.
And at that time, I was 100% right. You actually came on this podcast and said 2 weeks consecutively that was my bad, bro. You were right at that time.
I don't know if I said that verbatim. I don't know.
Not verbatim, nigga. We're paraphrasing, but it was. I mean, you have my producer right there sitting there. Yeah, I mean, actually, both of y'all came on here and said that. In lesser terms, I guess.
I was about to say. I said the take doesn't look as crazy now.
Okay, that's what he said because he's still trying to go with the Bryce for MVP narrative.
Yeah,
that he hasn't let go of. And you were just a little more.
I let go of the MVP narrative.
You were just a little more like, no, you know what, you were right, bro. So yes, I mean, right now,
I don't know.
I was
I don't know if I was right.
Like I said, pull the clip. I mean, you did it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, well, pull the clip and show me.
I don't need to. They will tell you in the comments. That 1,000,000,000% happened actually, and I think me quoting you. I think it was damn near verbatim.
No, the fuck it was.
I think so.
Now his head is
no, not at all. I'm just saying.
Your track record is just so bad that I can't even believe
so
that.
So you never came on this podcast and said
I probably said, like, at the time, like, it makes sense that Andy should be starting because he's looked like the better quarterback thus far.
No, that's not what you didn't say it that fucking wordy. You said I would say Andy Dalton is better than Bryce Young right now.
Bryce looked broken at that point.
I sure didn't say, "Oh, you were right, my fault, bro. I apologize." I didn't say that. No, the fuck I didn't.
I think you did say that because I think I sat back right in the same corner and said, "I came on this podcast today just for y'all to apologize to me." But it's okay.
That don't matter what you said when you sat in that corner. It's about the response you got, and I just don't think it was that. But
let me ask you a question.
But don't deter the conversation away from the fact that Bryce Young looks phenomenal playing the quarterback position right now. He's playing the quarterback position how it's supposed to be played. He's making quick decisions. He's manipulating the pocket beautifully. Bryce Young is actually playing a really nice brand of football.
Y'all are going to absolutely slaughter me.
Proving all the haters wrong.
And if you like quarterback play, then you can't say anything else because this shit looks so good.
Y'all are going to, like I said, y'all are going to slaughter me, and I'll deal with it. But this is the Bryce Young that I told y'all in training camp. Based on the system, the nigga had the ability to be. I literally said that, and I got slaughtered over the first 2 weeks, and I said my analysis was completely wrong, and I came on here and apologized. But y'all, Terrence fucking shit on me, and you did as well. Especially the first 2 weeks. Especially the first two, walking what back? My stance in the summer? I told y'all niggas that Bryce looked like he was different as hell. Especially when he let his cock hang against the Jets. I told y'all.
And then you came on here and said,
I came on here and no, and then I
shit.
And then I
it's hard to buy into
He's a little manager bitch.
Because then you'll switch the narrative up and say, you'll say that, you'll give him credit, and then you'll come out also simultaneously and say Andy Dalton's better.
Because at that time when
he don't be standing on business.
Because the thing about it is when the nigga was on the field, that was the case. I never said that he had the lack of talent. It was never a fucking talent thing. It was just like, nigga, you don't have any heart. You don't have courage, nigga. What is it, with a cowardly lion? That's the Wizard of Oz, nigga?
I don't know.
He's a fucking cowardly
you just
lion.
saw Wicked.
That's what he was. Yeah, but that's not, it's a little different. But irregardless, it was never really like the nigga can't hoop when he has talent around him. It was always, I just don't know if you got a killer in you. I just don't know if you got a killer in you, nigga.
Do you
and
believe
then when
now?
I hear reports,
Do you believe now?
Then, listen
Do you
to me.
bel-
Can
I just want to know,
finish?
do you
Can I
believe
finish?
now?
Then when I hear
Do you
reports,
believe he got one in him
then
now?
when I hear reports about niggas wanting to play another 60 minutes after the Chiefs game, and I see him get up and let his cock hang in the end zone, and then legitimately walk us down the field with 30 seconds left, our defense is soft as fuck. Honestly, our defense is soft as fuck. There's only a couple of names that will survive for me personally. Not to go off on a tangent. Xavier Woods, he might make it. His age will probably put him at risk. J.C. Horn, some weeks yes, some weeks no. I have a question to you about
Just
that.
give a
nigga
yes or
very
no,
soon.
bro. It's not.
Get off the fucking fence.
Yeah, it's like
Get off the
survive or
fence.
what? Like, are they going to survive or are they gone?
Yes,
JC is surviving.
JC would
You know
definitely
that.
1,000% survive. Derek Brown is based on what he did last year, even though he's fucked off right now. DJ Wanham, shout out to Big Bruh. We don't want no smoke. We want the interview. I'm not gonna lie. We walk back everything we said,
Except for the fact that you got to keep contained on the most important play of the game, or make the tackle when the quarterback runs right by you with a hobbled ankle.
Yeah, he has to make that tackle.
He does. I mean, but he would still survive.
But come on the pod and we can talk about it.
Facts. Come on the pod and we can talk about it. He would survive. Who else? Amari would survive. Josie would survive. Everybody else would be clipped.
Josie.
Mike,
Ashawn?
Trevin, Ashawn,
Ashawn?
clipped. All of them
Bro,
clipped.
you're yeah. I can't.
All of them clipped.
I can't
Actually,
let
no, I
you get.
walk that back. You're right.
Mike too.
Not
I mean, Mike
Ashawn.
has been playing
Not Ashawn. I'll give
No,
Ashawn
Mike,
credit.
he can go.
as
No,
a
just
as
don't do it
as
like
a
that.
three.
I got a
You
little
just did him
gassed
like
up. I know.
that.
I just got a little I got a little carried away. I just don't understand
And
how
fuck,
we can't
Trevor's
put
a
it together.
rookie. How the fuck did
Trevor's
he get
ass.
thrown?
Because I'm not gonna lie,
thrown into
because
that?
Trevor's garbage, bro. Like, and I say that with all due respect. Like, I'm not attacking you personally. I'm not, calling you out of your name. I'm not doing any of that stuff, bro. But right now, his craft is just fucking me.
Trevor, he
It's
also said the
garbage.
same thing about Bryce
It's
last year.
garbage.
So keep your head high, pimp. He don't really know talent like that.
Well, I mean, no, it has nothing to do with talent. Don't even try and paint that narrative, bro. The Bryce Young that we're currently seeing is not the Bryce Young that we saw last year, and it's not the Bryce Young that we saw the first 2 weeks of this season. So don't act like I was just fucking coming out of my ass talking. That's not what was
What's
going
bro's
on.
name? He also said Jamie Robinson was going to be a stud. So I mean, like,
Yeah,
And
but that was
Jonathan Mingo.
and Jonathan Mingo is also the second coming.
and Ian Thomas.
And so, like I said, big bro, he don't really, you feel me?
Can't
His
really
eye for
evaluate
talent
talent.
ain't really the best, so don't take it to heart.
Okay, fair enough. Has J.C. Horn lost himself money this year?
Oh yeah, he has.
Okay. You don't care to expound at all?
I mean, we've seen what he's done when he's played like big time receivers as far as like Mike Evans. I mean, Mike Evans just had a fucking field day with him yesterday. DeAndre Hopkins, he was so scared of him, he held him 10 times. So I mean, like, yeah, he's lost himself some money, I think. But also, I can also shoot that blame, a little bit of that to EJ as well, because EJ just don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't
And-
know if it's not that, if it's that or system.
And I want to say this for any coach, defensive coordinator, NFL, college, fucking high school, peewee level, for the love of God, when you get down to the end of a game, stop playing that soft-ass coverage, bro. Like, if they
9, 10,
haven't
11, 12 yards off.
if they haven't beat you the whole game, like, why are we just going to give them a chance to get in the field goal range? Like, why? We just have to live with them beating us over the top because they haven't done it all game. Like, I don't understand that. That really pisses me off. And every coach does it. Damn near every coach does it, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, is it not enough just to play too high? I mean,
Yeah,
if they
I
get
mean,
something in the middle,
facts.
I mean, are we really kicking ourselves over that? We can't cover that. Come on now, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just piss poor.
But we would rather play 12 yards off the ball and here go the sticks. Go ahead and get you a first down. I mean, it's
It's
dumb.
very frustrating, bro. I think that honestly, I'll say this: I don't know enough X's and O's to just slander the nigga's name. What I do know is it's just not, it's not the brightest idea to play 11 or 12 yards off when the game is on the line. I will say that. But also, I don't know if I just don't know if it's not a lack of talent thing as well. I don't know if we have a halfway decent coverage linebacker and guys that can actually fly around in the safety room. I don't know if this doesn't look a little bit different. I don't know if that Jiro Evero doesn't feel more comfortable playing instead of 9, 10, 11, 12 yards off 3, 4, 5. I don't know if that's the case or not.
But
because he thinks somebody's going to get beat. But you can say, like, not to cut you off, I'm going to throw it right back to you. You can say, because there was the drive in overtime, matter of fact, when the game was on the line. This is what I was telling you about earlier, when EJ, like, loaded up a fastball on him, brought everybody to the line of scrimmage, made it look like he was about to blast Baker right in his fucking face mask, and then dropped the two linebackers on the right side and sent them from the left. That was a beautiful play call. You got aggressive. You went into attack mode. You went to attack to go win the game. See, EJ gets on his fucking heels and he tries to, like, act like a blanket and just cover. You don't have the type of team where you can do that shit with. I feel like you drop back into coverage like that when you really believe in your personnel. You don't drop back into coverage. Like, you have to stay in attack mode with the guys that you have on the field because you don't have enough. So you have to cook something up as the play caller of this team to cover for the lack of talent that your front office has left you with.
And I don't think you really have to know that much of X and O's to know that majority of the time when a team is playing off like that and the team has to get a field goal or they have to score a touchdown, that they make pretty good hedgeway down the field when all they have to do is catch the ball wide open with somebody playing 10 or 12 yards off of them. Like,
see it once a week.
Yeah, it happens so much that it literally – and it's not even just the EJ thing. It's more so I'm focusing on EJ because he's the defensive coordinator of my team. It's a whole league problem. And I've seen people talk about it multiple times. Like, it's just mind-boggling that it continues to happen.
Fucking nut shrivel up. That shit is so annoying. Yeah. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it is. And just the fact that we've seen it 2 weeks in a row is even more frustrating. 2 weeks ago, I can understand. You're playing Pat. And you have 149 left on the clock. And honestly, we give Pat the credit that we do because, like we stated multiple times on this podcast, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, in our opinion. But if you give any NFL quarterback 149 with, what did he have, 1 timeout, 2 timeouts still remaining? Maybe 1. We'll just even if we just go with 1, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to stop them, especially with the new kickoff rules. So last week, I can kind of understand it.
Cushion.
Right, absolutely. I mean, at 1,000%. Last week, I can kind of understand it. This week, to me, it's just a little more inexplicable. Like, if your offense walks the football down the field and you score a touchdown with 30 seconds remaining and you go up 3, that ball game should be won. We shouldn't go to overtime. We shouldn't get in a position where Chuba Hubbard can fumble the football. We shouldn't get in a position where a kicker has to push or pull a 57-yard field goal. Like, we shouldn't be in that position. It's just very simple. But I will say, we're coming up here having this conversation. The defense played big last or Sunday, bro. They did. I mean, so we slaughter and slander EJ, but in that same breath, like, I have to bring up the fact that, like, bro, they did force 2 turnovers. They did come up big multiple times. We did sack Baker Mayfield 4 times. A problem that, we saw the first 8, 9, 10 weeks of the season where we couldn't rush the quarterback. 9 sacks over the last 2 weeks on Baker Mayfield and Pat Mahomes, 2 very, very elite quarterbacks. And don't jump out of your drawers because if you look at what Baker has done the last 2 years, he has been elite. That is a fact. But it's just not putting everything together. That's what it comes down to me. And when you have the opportunity to score in the red zone, that's another thing that I'm going to touch on, and I'm going to come right to you. Dave Canales, the conservative thought process just simply doesn't work. If we have a 4th and 2 and it's early on in the game, in the red zone, we fucking leave our guys out there and tell them niggas they can't fuck with us because they're not better than us, and we fucking execute for 6 feet. It's very, very simple. What did you have to say?
I was going to say, it's just on the EJ thing. It's not so much we're taking them out to the slaughterhouse and just ending them. Right? It's more so it's a critique, brother. Like, you gotta stop doing that at the end of the game. That's the difference between you being a hot commodity as a head coach and you looking for another job as a D coordinator next year, or maybe a positions coach. I don't think he'll drop that far, but that's the difference.
I don't think so either.
That's the difference. Like, you have to make that adjustment, and it's a mental thing.
Yeah, because I'm going into that thinking we're down 3, only a touchdown can beat us. So I'm not about to sit here and be playing like soft coverage. I mean, you have to score a touchdown to beat me. But I'm like, I'm gonna just play my game of football that I've been playing the whole entire game that you've been struggling with. You're a team that averages over 30 points a game, and going into the fucking overtime, I've held you to what, 19, whatever it was, going into the fourth.
I think.
Yeah.
What was the final?
It's like 22 to
22. It was 22.
22 to what?
No, in overtime it was 22.
So it was tied at 23.
It was tied at 20.
Tied at 23, 26-23 was the final.
23, okay.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
so it's
Okay,
like
cool.
I've held you under your average to this point. My defense has gotten after your quarterback.
Forced multiple turnovers.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm playing my brand of football because I know that at worst a touchdown is going to beat me. I don't believe my defense is going to give up a touchdown, but we're going to continue to play hard, tough football to where we're not even about to allow you to get an easy-ass field goal.
And before we even get to that point, I mean, I think that, for one, I just don't believe EJ's defense is designed to stop the run. Like, a 3-4 is just not designed, really, to stop the run at a high level, especially when you look at the talent that we have or lack thereof on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, I would
and so
respect
that
it
could
more
be-
if Derrick Brown was in the middle.
Yeah, I would agree. And that could be a conversation starter just based on your plans for next year.
DB
Because-
and Mason would look real good together.
Yeah, they would, but I'm not under the belief that there's not a possibility that we will still be giving up 175 to 200 yards a game. There's a possibility just based off of the defense as a whole. It is, and I think that that's a schematical thing. And I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's what this team needs. If you have a couple of Derrick Browns up front, then that may work. And when I say a couple, I mean you can go look at Pittsburgh, and that shit will work because we're just mean, we're nasty, we're not giving up that amount of yards, et cetera, et cetera. It's just not going to happen just because our egos are too big. You just simply don't have those guys, and it's just not going to work. I don't know if the EJ relationship continues after this year because I don't know if, unfortunately, he's what we need. That's not to say that I don't believe he'll go get another job elsewhere and probably be successful. I think that EJ, though we come on here and we talk our talk, whatever the case may be, I still think he's a good coach. I think he's an NFL talent. I believe that he can coach at a very, very high level in the NFL. I do. We saw it with Denver. We saw glimpses of it at times with Carolina over the past 2 or 3 seasons. So I don't think that EJ doesn't have what it takes. I just don't know if he has what it takes for the Carolina Panthers, which is, a completely different situation because then you get into the conversation of do you go try and go after Robert Saleh, which I believe that you do. But, that's a conversation that we'll kind of save for the offseason once we get to that point. But, yeah, I mean, just a very, very tough game. And apologies, I will say this just very, very quick, too. Apologies for last week. I know things got cut short. We didn't have our juice segment in the episode last week. We didn't have the last conversation that we had. We're actually going to upload the last conversation that we had. We're going to upload that probably Wednesday or Thursday or maybe even Friday of this week. But you guys will be able to see that. Apologies ahead of time for the audio. We had some technical difficulties on our end. But we will get that out. Y'all just won't be able to see juice.
So tough, too, because we hit 2 home runs last week.
I was about to say,
Yep.
y'all both hit. Well, actually, 3 of y'all hit. Or you, Dylan, and you, Dylan, and you.
Well, I don't even know if
I
Dylan
don't
hit
think
his
Dylan
juice.
hit.
He didn't
Yeah,
hit
it
his
was just
juice
me.
ticket.
Yeah.
He didn't hit. I thought that was his juice ticket that he sent last night.
I think that was some other shit. I don't know if that was his juice ticket.
The juice, yeah.
So
we hit
only
our
y'all
juice.
2 hit
Yeah.
on juice.
Mhm.
Got you. Well, I mean, he's probably not worried about it because, 27 to turn that bitch into what he turned it in, I wouldn't be worried about it. I wouldn't be worried about juice for the rest of the year, to be quite frank. Do y'all have y'all's tickets ready?
Nope.
What's new? Every single fucking week, boy, I tell you.
I'll be busy.
Not that busy. All you got to do is go on and click a couple buttons.
Got to think about it so we're not giving the bullshit ticket. That's why you come to us for the wins.
Exactly. I bet on during the season.
All right, bet. Cool.
I
So
bet you
we're
during
not
the
talking about
season
shit.
you lost money. No, you not talking about shit.
I just asked you, can we put up 150
And
on
I
the
said no. I bet during the season.
consolation? Okay. Well,
I might not even set my lineup.
niggas be fanned out. That's something that I did first, but I understand.
When? I don't understand why you think people watch your team so much, bro.
Don't worry about
Like
it, bro.
you're literally irrelevant, bro.
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that to the viewers. We took a little break just to set up on. Ho. I ain't never heard that drop. This is the wrong one. My apologies. I ain't heard that drop. I don't like that. Niggas putting a tag over our shit. I can't even get out of it. Fuck it. Free promo for the bum ass nigga.
I mean, you was talking over the tag, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, we had to take a little break, and niggas got to talking about fantasy, and I just tell niggas they end up the same place that I do, but they get aroused.
But with just a little bit extra
aroused.
money because he lost in the
They
regular
get aroused because they beat me in the regular season. So cool. We just let niggas have moral victories.
season. Nigga, you pay me. Ain't no more victory.
You said that shit was real.
It's a money victory. Thank you. Appreciate your services. Thank you for your donation. That's always what it is, a fucking donation. And I'll be getting a lot of donations at the end of the season where all our bets paying out.
I might not pay you. It just depends on how I feel on the specific.
Y'all see how he
niggas
do?
ask me.
Don't ever bet him. He not a man of his word, bro.
Go, man. Why y'all just sitting there?
Are you
Go.
not? I thought you was gonna go.
All right, I got
no.
my ticket. Had a winning ticket last week. Some people didn't. So tap in, lock in. Plus 11.95. I got Clemson beating SMU. That's a tough one. Clemson, sometimes they be dog shit. I got Oregon beating Penn State. Detroit beating Green Bay. Pittsburgh beating Cleveland. Tampa Bay beating the Raiders. And Minnesota beating Atlanta. Should be fairly simple. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 leg, 11.95. Get in with me.
I'm also coming off a win last week. Unfortunately, y'all didn't see this segment of Juice, but I had an absolute fucking home run ticket for y'all. Coming back with another one. Plus 1053. Only a 4-leg. Not too complicated. We're getting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Las Vegas Raiders. We're taking the Eagles over the Panthers. We're taking the Rams over the Bills. The Bills are coming. They're very hot coming into this game. But typically, in my experience with the Buffalo Bills, after they have a phenomenal game like they just had in the snow, it's followed by a letdown. And the Rams are nothing to be fucked with. And we're also taking the Chicago Bears over the San Francisco 49ers. Shout out Smooth.
Why would you put a minus 650 on there?
Yeah, what is the point in doing that?
Just to add a little bit extra juice, it just bumps the odds up. I don't know how FanDuel does their metrics. All I know is throwing that on there bump my odds up significantly because it's the...
No, not significantly.
No, it is because it's the, I guess, the difference between having a 3 versus a 4-leg parlay. More chances to fuck some shit off. Also, it's free money. Why not take it?
I would never in my life put a minus 650 on my ticket. I thought you learned your lesson the first time you were in it, first day you were in that group chat. You didn't learn about minus 400 so longer.
I learned one thing in that group chat, and that niggas never send winning tickets. Don't tell the tickets in the group chat. Wait till they post their winnings from after, because they'll never send you the winning one. That's what I learned.
That's
I don't know why a
that
nigga
lesson is not
who hasn't
applicable.
won a single juice is giving me advice on what to put on my juice tickets.
I mean, because it's phenomenal. I haven't won a single juice, but I'll be winning in real life. Like, I win betting shit in real life, but it's okay. Dylan still has the lead with 5 wins. Is that correct? 5?
Yeah.
He hit some crazy shit this Sunday, too. Nah, if he would have sent that and that was his juice ticket, then I would have gassed him up. Dylan, if you would have sent that one, then I would have did what you wanted me to do on this platform. But because you didn't, then, you know, and you lost last week, it's just you have the lead. Phenomenal. 4-leg parlay. Lions minus 3.5 against Green Bay. Saints minus 4.5 against the Giants. Bills minus 4.5 against the Rams, and Cincinnati money line against the Dallas Cowboys. Monday Night Football. That was Dylan's. He said his lock of the week is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Ironically enough, after Tavian gives his soliloquy, and I'm trying to get back to him so I can see what the odds were on that. My apologies. Plus 856. Plus 856 for Dylan. Let me pull mine up real quick. Plus 1818, 5 legs. Hopefully we can get the job done. I don't know if we can. My confidence is kind of shot 11 weeks into the season. We've been doing this for a long time, and I've just continued to come up short. So I don't advise you tell this by any stretch of the imagination. Cincinnati -5.5 against Dallas. I think they handle them niggas pretty easily, with all due respect. Give me the Chargers to cover +4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo Bills -4.5 against the Los Angeles Rams. Back in Buffalo is going to be a little chilly. I don't know if the Rams are ready for that type energy. Give me over on the Vikings and Falcons. I don't think Kirk Cousins continues to play as bad as he has. And give me the New Orleans Saints money line against the New York Giants. Again, that's +18. Maybe the numerology people will tell me that's a good sign that we have a +18. If not, I'm reeling at this point. I don't know what to do. So I just have to be in the moment. We bet too early in the week. Very simple. Very simple. What are your expectations for the Panthers the remainder of this season? What do we have, 5 games left? We're what, 3-9? 3-9?
Yeah.
Is it that bad?
Yeah,
I mean,
every time you look away,
Okay, my bad.
you go from here to going like this.
My bad. 3-9. What are your expectations? Now, I don't really necessarily want to hear a win-loss, but just let me know like what you need to see to make this season.
I feel like it's something we've already been talking about. Just steady progression from Bryce. Kind of nipping that conversation in the bud with going into the offseason. Are we looking for a quarterback? Which I think now it should be straight defense. You build on your defense. You clearly see that that's a problem. Specifically the run defense. You need some corners. You need some guys up front.
You need everything.
Yeah, you need everything from a defensive standpoint. So, at this point, you're evaluating guys that you're going to keep and, guys that you're not, kind of get on up the road. But that's kind of what it is. Steady progression from Bryce and just evaluating the talent that you already have with the preconceived notion that you're going into the draft, into the offseason to build this team defensively, really. It's not too much more to it than that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm taking a slightly different angle. I'm going to put my Panthers fan cap on for this one. What I want to see is I want to see the continued progression, and I'm going to take a more micro, macro. I don't really know the difference between the two, I'll be honest with you. But I'm going to take a big picture. I'm going to take a big picture view.
Macro?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I really don't. I did not pay attention to my econ class. Dropped that bitch after 2 weeks. Couldn't understand my professor.
Okay.
Yeah, I could not understand what she was saying.
Okay.
But very thick accent. I'll leave it there. Very thick accent. So taking the big picture approach of this, and I want to see a culture that continues to build. I think you've hit a tough stretch now. You have a team that has been competitive, but you've had 2 just gut-wrenching losses. How are you going to bounce back to that? I'm not anticipating a win this week against Philly, but I think there's a very winnable game the following week against Dallas. I want to see them be competitive in the Philly game. I want to see them go for the win, obviously, but I want to see them be competitive at the very least in this Philly game and continue to take steps in the right direction. And then I want to see them beat Dallas, a team that's reeling and is not very good. I want to see that happen, and I want to see a progression. I want to see this team continue to fight for the rest of the season and buy in and build into this culture. That's what I want to see. Because a lot of these players won't be here. But can you convince them to play hard for the entire duration of the season? That's what I want to see.
You say you want to see them beat Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we should. And I would say that I don't know if I agree with a lot of these players won't be here. Who's not going to be here?
Let me not say a lot. I think there's going to be a few that won't be here.
Yeah, a few. Everybody on offense will be back.
But I think some of these guys, offense, yeah, but I think some of these guys will drop into rotational pieces. They won't necessarily be leaned on. But can you continue to have that right attitude and build?
I think the Carolina Panthers should hands down win 3 out of the last 5. No, I don't think that there's a debate to be had. I think that's what my expectation is, even though I said don't give me win-loss. But as you spoke, it's just like, you have Philly this week, and you have Dallas, and you have Arizona, and then you have Tampa and Atlanta. I think that 3 out of those 5 is very realistic. I really do. And really, I would love to say 4 out of 5, but I just think that Arizona just somehow clips you. But I there's nothing that I saw against Atlanta or Tampa Bay that puts any fear in my heart. Dallas is who Dallas is right now. They put no fear in my heart. I think you get abused against Philly. I do. But I hope that it's competitive. I hope that it's competent. Like I said, this for me is the challenge for Bryce Young. I know the last 2 weeks, again, have been outstanding and phenomenal, but this is the game that I want to see. What do you do against an elite secondary? Because the Philadelphia Eagles secondary is elite, and their defense as a whole is elite. What do you do against that? That's what I want to see. But, yeah, 3 out of the last 5, I think that's realistic. I have another question for you, and you can keep it as brief as you want to keep it, but I'm just dying to know this answer. Who do you blame the most for the loss yesterday?
I'll probably go Eddie just because of he left 6 or 9 points on the board. But I mean, honestly, I just blame a lack of execution when you have the ability to put points on the board, whether that's making field goals or whether that's just executing in the red zone. That's how you win football games. You shouldn't even expect to beat teams off of kicking field goals. There's no reason that you score 1 touchdown out of that whole game. Was it 1 touchdown or 2? Might have been 2.
2. No? Was it 1? Who scored?
I remember Adam
Thielen scored the touchdown at the end of the game.
Thielen scored and Bryce scored.
Bryce scored the rushing touchdown. Got it. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, but up until that point, up until 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, you had only scored 1 touchdown, and that 1 touchdown came from when? Was it the first quarter?
The second, I believe.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's just no reason it's just a lack of execution, so there it is. I will put the blame on Eddie, but at the same time, it's just a lack of execution on the offensive side.
It's a team thing. It's a team thing. Player of the game.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce. I wanted to give it to Josie because I thought he had a pretty good game too. But, I mean, Bryce or Adam Thielen.
Okay. Shaw. I mean, you chuckle, but we saw Dane get dick put in him last week. And Shaw came out, first career start, didn't allow that to happen. Had an interception, had, 8 tackles. I'll give it to Shaw. Shout out to Bryce, though. I mean, Bryce really is the correct answer, in my opinion. But, I mean, I'm not going to bore the viewers with that.
So you just give them bullshit. Okay, got it.
No, not at all. I think that Shaw Smith-Wade played phenomenal. I think he played the best on the defensive side of the football out of everybody. There was nobody defensively that played better than Shaw.
Might as well give it to Ick then.
I swear.
Nah, not really. Not quite.
Or Chuba.
That's how you feel? I mean, I would just prefer if next week we get more than 12 carries.
While you're going to the next segment, I just want to paint this picture for the viewers real quick. Can you imagine Terrence coming home after that game and pulling out of the mail a jersey that he's been waiting? How long have you been waiting on that?
About a week and a half.
It came in pretty quick. I would say about a week.
A jersey that he's been waiting on for about a week. Finally updating the collection, getting a player on the roster, decides to get a Chuba Hubbard jersey, and it arrives the day that he fumbles at the end of the game to cost the Panthers a win against a divisional opponent and keep them relatively high in the playoff conversation.
I haven't taken the tags off of it, so I don't know if I'm going to sell it yet. So
you could return it and say it didn't fit and swap out the number.
That is true.
Might as well double up on them. Do you have a black Bryce jersey?
No, but I need a white one, so I could just do that.
I'll just say this as we close.
Or Jonathan Brooks.
That would be extremely weird. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. We will be going live this Friday. Just completely on me. I'll wear it that we didn't go live last week. I apologize. If you feel a certain way about it,
pay us.
Yeah, it's very simple.
I'm with Big Slime. Yeah, you know we're going crazy.
17 with 4 babies, yeah. Lot of money, know they hate me, yeah.